very good morning all. I hope you all are safe at home. I, Jasmita, working as TGT Mathematics at TTW URJC Palakurti. Before going to start, let us look at that. Welcome to mathematics subject. Here, mathematics is not about numbers, equations, computations or algorithm. It's about understanding. Math gives us a hope that every problem has a solution. Hope, don't be panic children in this session, in this world. Now, for the situation of pandemic, here everyone must hope that every problem will have a solution. Very soon we will get a solution for the problem what we are facing today. Let us discuss. Welcome back to our class. We will start our class with a positive hope with this. Look at the slides once, children. Here all these figures are, the first figure represents our Indian flag, and then window pane we have here, and also cupboard, here chess board, and their form and the sweet of the shape Kaju Katli is a sweet, and a mat and playing cards and the ground. All these are the figures. All these figures are having some common property. Children, can you identify what that property is? What is common for all those figures? All those figures are four-sided polygons. Did you remember polygons, children? Here all are having four sides. So all these four-sided polygons are called quadrilaterals. Today's our topic is quadrilaterals. In this, quadrilateral is a word derived from the Latin word quadri means four. Quadri means four and lattice means sides. That is, these are all our four-sided figures. That's why these are called quadrilaterals. Today we are going to learn more about what are quadrilaterals and classification of quadrilaterals and properties of quadrilaterals. Next, what's a polygon with a four-sided polygon? A polygon with four sides is called as a quadrilateral. Look at the slide once, children. Here, what are the parts of a quadrilateral? Parts of a quadrilateral are, a quadrilateral has four-sided polygon. In this, what are the four sides? Let us label the sides AB, BC, CD and DA are the four sides of the quadrilateral, and also the four angles are angle A, angle B, angle C, angle D are the four angles of the quadrilateral. Next, this dotted line shows that the line segment joining the opposite vertices is called as diagonal. So, how many diagonals do we have in the figure? For a quadrilateral, we have two diagonals, that is AC and BD. There are four sides, four angles and two diagonals in the quadrilateral. To know the more properties of a quadrilaterals, let us know what are adjacent sides and adjacent angles. Adjacent side means two sides which are having common vertex is called as are called adjacent sides. Look at here, AB and BC are the two sides which are having common vertex as B. So, AB and BC are the pair of adjacent sides. Similarly, BC and CD is another pair, CD and DA and DA and AB. So, totally we got four pairs of adjacent sides in the quadrilateral. And also adjacent angles. Adjacent angles means the angles which are having a common arm. Two angles which have a common arm. Look at the figure, children. Angle A and angle B are having a common arm as AB. So, angle A is adjacent to angle B. Similarly, angle B is adjacent to C and C is adjacent to D, and also D is adjacent to A. So, totally four pairs of adjacent angles we got it in the figure. Next, what are opposite sides? Opposite nothing but those are which are not adjacent are called opposite. If it is sides, we are not adjacent sides. See, look at the figure. AB is not adjacent to CD, DC. So, AB and DC are one pair of opposite sides. Similarly, AD and BC are another pair of opposite sides. So, how many pairs of opposite sides we got it? Two pairs of opposite sides. Similarly, opposite angles which are not adjacent. A is opposite to C and also B is opposite to D. So, we got two pairs of opposite angles. In a quadrilateral, we got four pairs of adjacent sides, four pairs of adjacent angles and two pairs of adjacent two pairs of opposite sides and two pairs of opposite angles. Let us discuss more about quadrilaterals. Here, observe the next figure. These are all the quadrilaterals. All are simple closed figures or polygons made up of line segments, 4 line segments, isn't it, children? Observe all these figures. In these figures, you can see that these leftmost two are the quadrilaterals, which are these two are looking similar, and these the remaining than among all these 5. Yes. So, here, but even though one is looking different from the other, some similarities are there, some differences are there. What are the similarities and what are the differences? Let us know in this class, in this session. Next, if you observe in the previous slide, we have seen that these type of the quadrilaterals, here types of quadrilaterals, in the first derive that concave quadrilateral and convex quadrilaterals. Let us know what is concave quadrilateral. Look at these figures, children. In this figure, can you identify which type of angle is it? Which type of angle is it, children? This is reflex angle. Yes, this reflex angle means which is greater than 180 degrees. That is, a quadrilateral has one interior angle as a reflex angle, then that type of quadrilateral is called concave quadrilateral. But here in convex quadrilaterals, all the angles are less than 180 degrees. So, this is one difference, and another is, just now we discussed there are two diagonals in a quadrilateral. See here, these dotted lines represents the diagonals of the quadrilaterals in the both the figure. In this figure, both the diagonals are in the interior of the quadrilateral, but in concave quadrilateral, one diagonal is in the interior and the other is in the exterior of the quadrilateral. So, this is also the difference for concave and convex quadrilaterals. Concave quadrilateral, one diagonal is in the exterior and one is in the interior of the quadrilateral. Next, and the last difference is, in a concave quadrilateral, if you choose any 2 points, let us choose P and Q are 2 points in the interior of this quadrilaterals. I am joining the line segment. These two line segment, the PQ, is it PQ completely lying in the interior of the quadrilateral, children? No. So, that means the line segment may not lie completely in the interior of the quadrilateral. So, this is also one of the difference for concave and convex quadrilateral. In convex quadrilateral, if you choose any 2 points in the interior and if you join the line segment must always completely lies in the interior of the quadrilateral. So, that we can say these in this way we can identify the given quadrilateral as whether it is a concave or convex. These are the 3 differences we can find for convex and concave quadrilaterals. And most of the quadrilaterals we will find in our daily life are convex quadrilaterals. Let us know more about convex quadrilaterals in this session. Next, here, did you remember sum of angle sum property of a quadrilateral, children? Yes. What is the sum of the 3 interior angles of a quadrilateral? Sum of the 3 interior angles of a quadrilateral is interior angles of a quadrilateral triangle is 180 degrees. Yes, 3 interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Now, let us know what is the sum of the interior angles of a quadrilateral. How many angles we have? 4 angles for a quadrilateral. So, what is, if they add all these 4 angles, what is the sum of it? We will learn now. See here, look at the slide, angle sum property of a quadrilateral. In this quadrilateral, either you take a convex quadrilateral or a concave quadrilateral, draw a diagonal AC, I am drawing here, which is interior of this convex, but when you are taking a concave quadrilateral, take the diagonal which is in the interior of the quadrilateral. So that diagonal makes the quadrilateral into two triangles, isn't it? Triangle 1 and triangle C. Look at the figure, children. In this quadrilateral also, this diagonal is making the quadrilateral into 2 triangles, that is triangle 1 and triangle 2. So, if I want to find out sum of the 4 angles in a quadrilateral is equals to sum of the angles in triangle 1 and sum of the angles in triangle 2. Plus sum of the angles in triangle 1 plus sum of the angles in triangle 2. That is, sum of the 3 angles in a triangle, we discuss that as 180 degrees. So, 180 plus 180 is 360 degrees. So, we can state that sum of the interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. This is called angle sum property of a quadrilateral. That quadrilateral either be a convex or a concave quadrilateral, sum of all the 4 angles is 360 degrees. I hope you all have understood what is the angle sum property of a quadrilateral. Next, we will discuss more about convex quadrilateral. In our general daily life, we will come across with so many objects which are in the shape of convex quadrilaterals. So, let us discuss types of convex quadrilaterals here. Types of convex quadrilateral. In a quadrilateral, one pair of opposite sides are parallel, then it is called a trapezium. Trapezium means one pair of opposite sides are parallel. Look at that, this arrow mark shows those two lines are parallel. Here one pair of opposite sides are parallel, then it is called a trapezium. Next, in a trapezium means already one pair is parallel and another non-parallel sides are there. If these non-parallel sides are equal, then we call it as a isosceles trapezium. Isosceles trapezium means in a non-parallel one pair of opposite sides are parallel and non-parallel sides are equal is called as isosceles trapezium. Next, we are going to discuss about an interesting quadrilateral which is kite. Kite, I think most of you fly kites during the Pongal season, isn't it, children? So, what is a kite? We will discuss now. Kite is a quadrilateral with in this quadrilateral, two pairs of distinct adjacent sides are equal. Adjacent sides, how many pairs of adjacent sides we have? 4 pairs. In that, if 2 pairs of adjacent sides are equal, then we can call that as a kite, that quadrilateral as a kite. See here, this symbol shows those two are equal. Here, this pair of adjacent side is equal. Here, this pair of adjacent side is equal. These two pairs of adjacent sides are equal in this quadrilateral. So, it is called a kite. In the kite, diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Perpendicular means the angle between the two diagonals is 90 degrees and one diagonal bisects the other. Look at the figure here, one diagonal is longer and the other is shorter. Can you identify that? Now, in this figure, the longer diagonal bisects the shorter diagonal. Bisecting means, children, bisecting means making into two equal parts. That is, this longer diagonal makes the shorter diagonal into two equal parts. I hope you all have understood that what is trapezium, isosceles trapezium and kite. Have you all understood? Let us discuss some more here. In a quadrilateral, if one pair is opposite side, one pair of opposite sides are parallel, it's a trapezium. If both pairs are parallel, then what will it become? Here let us discuss one pair. This arrow mark shows you the parallel lines. Here I am taking A, B, C, D in this quadrilateral. Both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. In this parallel lines, here this is called a parallelogram. Parallelogram means in a quadrilateral, both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. In this parallelogram, if I am drawing a diagonal, I have drawn the diagonal AC. Look at the figure. This diagonal makes the parallelogram into two triangles, isn't it, children? Here, so what are the triangles? Let's name the triangles ABC, triangle ABC and triangle CDA. These are the two triangles. Yes, in the yesterday's class, you have learned that congruency criterions, isn't it, children? SSS, SAS, ASA, RHS congruency criteria. Today, we will use those congruency criterion here to know the properties of this parallelograms and convex quadrilaterals. See here, in these two triangles, here this diagonal is making this angle into two parts. Let us label the parts. Here also 2. So, I am labeling the angles are 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, these two are opposite sides are parallel and this is a transversal. Isn't it, children? When it is a transversal, what is this angle 1 and angle 2 represents? Angle 1 and angle 3 are alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles are always equal. Angle 1 is equals to angle 3 and also angle 4 is equals to angle 2. That is, angle 4 is equals to angle 2 and this common side, both the triangles are having AC as a common side. Yes, this as a common side. So AC is equals to CA is a common side. Here it is alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles. Now here observe this angle, side, angle in this quadrilateral, in this triangle, angle, side, angle in this side, angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle. So by using ASA axiom, these two triangles are congruent. That is, what is the symbol of congruency? In the yesterday's class you have learned similarity and equal. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA. This is the first property of the parallelogram. Here in a parallelogram, diagonal makes the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. That is the first property of a parallelogram. And next, when two triangles are congruent, so by CPCT, corresponding parts of congruent triangles, that means the both are having same shape and same size, so all the sides are equal, all the angles are equal. Here we took only two angles on one side, we will write the remaining two sides and the one angle. What are the two sides, children? CD and AB. You know how to write it. AB is equals to CD and also BC is equals to DA. That means CD is equals to AB and AD is equals to BC. These two opposite sides are equal. This is the second property of a parallelogram. Opposite sides are equal in a parallelogram. Opposite sides are equal in a parallelogram. Next, what is the remaining other angle? Other angle is B and D. So I can write angle B is equals to angle D. Yes, and also here 1 is equals to 3, 2 is equals to 4. I can say that angle C is equals to angle A, or angle A is equals to angle C also. That means here what are the opposite angles are equal. Therefore, this is the third property of a parallelogram. Till now we discussed the three properties of parallelogram, that is diagonal divides the parallelogram into two congruent triangles, and also opposite sides are equal and opposite angles are equal in a quadrilateral. And also if I draw another diagonal also, DB, here also the angle is distributing, so I am taking 5, 6, 7 and 8 the angles. Then here what will happen, understand, observe these two triangles, that is the both are diagonals are intersecting at a point O. So here in the triangle AOB and triangle COD, yes, AOB and COD, angle 1 is equals to angle 3. Just now we wrote it alternate interior angles. Similarly, angle 5 is equals to angle 8. This is also a transversal. So 5 is equals to 8. So we can write angle 1 is equals to 3, angle 5 is equals to angle 8. Since alternate interior angles, alternate interior angles. And also that just now we have proved that AB is equals to CD. This opposite sides are equal. AB is equals to CD. Observe these two triangles. Here one angle and the side and another angle and the angle. That is side angle, side angle, angle, side angle. So by using angle, side angle axiom, triangle AOB is congruent to triangle COD. When two triangles are congruent, by the corresponding parts we can write it, corresponding parts of congruent triangles. AO is equals to CO and OB is equals to OD. That is, look at that, we will identify in the figure. AO is equals to, that is this AO, this is equals to CO, and the OB is equals to OD. That is, these two parts are equal, these two parts are equal. It is nothing but diagonals in a parallelogram bisect each other. This is the fourth property of a parallelogram. Diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. And also we discussed that angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D, that is sum of the four angles in a triangle in a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. So here A is equals to C, we got it, and B is equals to D. I can write, instead of A and C, I can write 2 angle A plus, instead of B and D, I can write 2 angle B is equals to 360 degrees. That is, angle A plus angle B can be written as 360 by 2. What is half of 360, children? That is 180 degrees. That is, this is the fifth property of a parallelogram. Adjacent angles are supplementary. A and B are 180, adds up to 180 degrees. B and C also 180, B plus C plus D also 180, D plus A also 180. These are the 5 properties of a parallelogram. With that, so let us look at the slide once. Properties of a parallelogram. Parallelogram is a quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides are parallel, opposite sides are equal in length, opposite angles are equal, and adjacent angles are supplementary, and diagonals bisect each other, and also diagonal divides the parallelogram into 2 congruent triangles. Let us discuss one more. Here, in a parallelogram, if all the sides are equal, then what will it become? What is my question? In a parallelogram, all the sides are equal. Just now, we have only opposite sides are equal. Now, in a parallelogram, all the sides are equal. That is, assume that all the 4 sides are equal. Here I am taking a parallelogram A, B, C, D. In this all the sides are equal. Then it is called rhombus. The name of the quadrilateral is rhombus. Rhombus is a parallelogram with 4 sides of equal length. Now, if I join here also, it's as we are saying that it is a parallelogram, there also 2 diagonals are there. If you join those 2 diagonals, they both intersect at O, and also diagonals bisects each other. That we know as a property of a parallelogram. Just now we discussed. So here in this rhombus, if you discuss these 2 triangles, observe AOB and BOC, these 2 sides are equal and these 2 are bisecting each other, and OB is common to each other. So triangle AOB and triangle COB, AO is equals to CO and OB is equals to OB, and AB is equals to BC, because all sides are equal in rhombus. Now, we can say that SSS axiom 2 triangles are congruent, that is AOB is congruent to AOCOB. And these 2 triangles are congruent. Observe that the corresponding parts are equal, that is AOB is equals to angle COB. What is AOB and COB? Look at the figure. AOB is this angle, COB is this angle. If you add this angle, what is the sum of these 2 angles? What is that? What type of angle is it? Straight angle, isn't it? Straight angle means sum should be 180. That means sum of these 2 angles is 180 and these 2 are equal, we got it. That means both should be 90. That is, diagonals are perpendicular to each other in a rhombus. So this is another property added to the rhombus instead of having all the properties of the parallelogram. Once look at the slide, previous slide. Here in that quadrilateral, a parallelogram with all sides of equal length is called a rhombus. In rhombus, all sides are equal length and diagonals bisect each other at right angle. Just now we proved. And also in the rhombus also holds all the properties of parallelogram, having adjacent angles are supplementary and diagonals bisect each other, and opposite angles are equal in a rhombus because it is a parallelogram. And also in a parallelogram, if each angle is 90 degrees, then it will become a rectangle. Rectangle means each angle of a parallelogram is 90 degrees. Parallelogram means opposite sides are parallel and equal, and each angle is 90 degrees here. So in this, if you prove that if you draw the diagonals, if ABCD is a quadrilateral as a rectangle, in that each angle, if you observe this AB, here the triangle ABC, ABD and CAB, these two triangles are congruent because this is a common side and each angle is 90. These opposite sides are equal. By using this, we can prove that triangle DAB is congruent to triangle CBA. So these two triangles are congruent. How do I have congruent? AB is equals to A, BA common side, and also angle DAB is equals to angle CBA, both are equals to 90 degrees, and here AD is equals to BC, those are the opposite sides. So side, angle, side, side, angle, side. But SAS axiom, triangle DAB is congruent to triangle CBA. That means we can write it as DB is equals to, by CPCT, you can write it as DB is equals to CA. That means what are DB and CA? DB is a one diagonal and CA is the other diagonal. So the diagonals are equal in a rectangle. So all the properties of parallelogram, along with that each angle is 90 and diagonals are equal in a rectangle. Let us look at the slide, children. Rectangle, a parallelogram with each angle is at right angle is called a rectangle. And the properties of rectangle, every angle is a right angle, opposite sides are congruent, opposite sides are parallel, and diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. That means diagonals of a rectangle are equal. Just now we have proved, and diagonals of a rectangle bisect each other because it's a parallelogram. And also next we are going to learn about special type of a quadrilateral, that is square and superior of all the quadrilaterals, which holds all the properties of square, parallelogram, rectangle and rhombus. How? A rectangle can become a square if all sides are equal. If all sides are equal in a rectangle, then it will become a square. That means in square is a rectangle, square is a rhombus, square is a parallelogram also. So has four congruent, it has a square has four congruent sides and has four right angles, and the diagonals of a square are bisect each other and congruent, because in square rectangle diagonals are congruent, here also congruent, and also diagonals are perpendicular. In rhombus diagonals are perpendicular, here also perpendicular, and bisects the opposite angles. The diagonals also bisects the opposite angles of a quadrilateral. So these are the properties of square. And also square is a regular quadrilateral. What is a regular polygon? Regular polygon means a polygon which has all the sides of equal length and each angle is measures equal. So we can say that in a square all sides are equal and each angle is 90 degrees. So we can say that square is also a regular quadrilateral. After listening to all this, you might have got that how so many quadrilaterals are there, how to remember all these quadrilaterals and how to represent all these quadrilaterals and the properties and all. I'll give you a small simple tip that these are the how to represent and how to remember the quadrilaterals well. Look at the flow chart, children. Types of quadrilaterals. In that, first we have discussed that concave quadrilateral. In a quadrilateral, one angle is reflex angle, then it is called a concave quadrilateral. If all angles are less than 180, it's a convex quadrilateral. In this convex quadrilateral, one pair is parallel trapezium. In that trapezium, both sides, non-parallel sides are equal. It's an isosceles trapezium. In a trapezium, both pairs of opposite sides are parallelogram. If a parallelogram, each angle is 90, right, rectangle. The parallelogram, all sides are equal, then it will become a rhombus. And then rhombus, all sides, each angle is 90, it's a square. Otherwise, rectangle, all sides are equal, then it will become a square. And also, kite is a two pairs of adjacent sides are equal. In a convex quadrilateral, it will become a kite. In a kite, all the four pairs of adjacent sides are equal. Four pairs of adjacent sides are equal, then it will become a rhombus. So using this flow chart, you can remember all the properties of a quadrilaterals very well. When you are coming from top to the bottom of the flow chart, you must satisfy the condition and what we have discussed now. If you go from bottom to top, there is no need to satisfy any condition. That means square is a parallelogram, square is a rectangle, square is a rhombus, square is a trapezium, and square is a convex quadrilateral. I hope you all have understood all this. And next one more we have, that is a cyclic quadrilateral. It's a very simple concept. In a cyclic quadrilateral, a quadrilateral whose all the four vertices lie on a circle is called a cyclic quadrilateral. In that cyclic quadrilateral, the opposite angles, here ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral, in that angle ADC and angle ABC, if you add these two opposite angles, you will get it as a 180 degrees. That means in a cyclic quadrilateral, sum of the opposite angles is 180 degrees. From this, can you say what are the cyclic quadrilaterals? Square and rectangle, because sum of the opposite angles are 90 plus 90, 180 degrees. So, in any quadrilateral opposite angles are 180, sum of the opposite angles are 180 degrees, then we can say that it is a cyclic quadrilateral. I hope you all have understood what are the properties and all what we have discussed till now about quadrilaterals, and you can do one simple activity, children. You observe the figures and the objects that you come across in your daily life and identify which family of the quadrilateral is, which type of quadrilateral is, and try to check whether the properties are satisfying for that quadrilateral or not, so that you can remember these properties of quadrilateral well for your life. Thank you. I hope you all will do this. Thank you.